this is one of Hannah Claire's favorite politicians, and so I know it's special that she's back. So I wanted to.
Man.
So we have Jasmine Crockett. Hannah Claire says Jasmine Crockett should run. By the way, I saw a.
Look, I'll say this about Jasmine Crockett. You're going to have to pay attention to her. She is steadily gaining some kind of media attention, whether the DNC wants her to or not. I'm not even sure she's their favorite candidate, but like she's gotten some traction and now the media can't really look away.
She's just black AOC 10 years ago. That's all she is. So AOC now has become more of an establishment. I saw a poll this morning. I don't know who was polled, or maybe you guys saw this, but basically the Democratic frontrunner with 26% of the vote was AOC to lead the Democratic Party.
So they really don't have anyone then. That's terrible.
Right.
Poor Gavin Newsom, who launched a podcast and everything.
Oh, I know. He got, but like, she could be a problem in the general election. She's young. She's moderately attractive. She's charismatic. She's Latino Barack Obama. Like, she could be a problem.
Oh, man. I don't think she's that good, and I don't think they have that much confidence in her. But, maybe.
She's not as good as Barack. And she also does, like, Barack didn't have the baggage that she does with, like, a lot of her insane far leftist ideology. Mm-hmm. But what do you make of, I'll go to HCB, then Luke, then Ian. Jasmine Crockett points to Kamala Harris's role as prosecutor as the reason she had trouble with black men. No. That almost certainly isn't the truth. But, I mean, her prosecutor thing, it was not really a part of the conversation. I mean, we all covered the election pretty extensively. It would come up passively, but maybe in California, but not in flyover country. Nobody really gives a crap about her putting people away for weed.
Yeah. Well, I think it did come up. It would ebb and flow the way Donald Trump being a real estate person would ebb and flow.
Yeah.
They would, when they were trying to separate her from Biden, they talked about the prosecutor thing because they didn't want to run with, she's the vice president, because then she had to answer for, the collapse of the economy and all kinds of stuff under Biden, which she did have to. That came up repeatedly during debates. And when they presented her as
that's why she lost the election.
Right. And when they presented her as a prosecutor, her terrible record and the fact that people in California felt like she had, been involved in all kinds of scandals came up. I mean, she wasn't a strong person to run anyways. And I think there's all kinds of reasons why she failed. Jasmine Crockett during this interview was saying basically in the post-mortem that the DNC ran on the election, one pollster suggested that black men didn't like her because she was a prosecutor. And I find that fascinating because Jasmine Crockett responded like, well, there's always going to be some misogyny, and you can kind of make sense. Like, she has to walk this weird line between being intensely feminist and being like, yeah, these are black men didn't fall in line, and that's why, and also not wanting to be disloyal to the black community, which she is constantly trying to align behind her.
Here's the chart I was talking about, Hannah Claire. AOC in a boat race. Democrats now say AOC is the leader of the Democrat Party among those who gave a name.
Among those who gave a name. So then there were a bunch of people what's the percentage of people who were like, we don't know?
Well, you can guess that by looking at who's on this list. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jasmine Crockett, 8%. Ain't nobody, no. Hakeem Jeffries, no. Cory Booker, no. Pete Buttigieg, double no. Bernie Sanders, no. He's run twice and failed both times miserably. And now he's 1 billion years old. Yeah. Now I think this might be leader of the Democrat Party, not necessarily presidential candidate kind of thing.
And I think you can say leader in terms of like culture and taste, right? Like there are some people who aren't in a position of power in Congress or who aren't sitting on the best committees who get the most attention from the public. And therefore, when they say we should talk about this policy, it sort of forces everybody else's hands. They have to talk about that. We see that with Republicans as well. You see that with libertarians. Like that's true of lots of different political affiliations. I just don't think that she is influential among her colleagues. I think it's different when you say like she's the leader, aka a lot of people know that she's a popular, or at least famous Democrat, versus having influence when you go to bring legislation to the floor. Yeah. I don't think she has that kind of influence.
Yeah, I'll kick it to Luke here. What do you make of that, her power level? Because it does seem like basically, how long has she been there? 12 years now, 10 years, 12 years. She has always been like, yeah, okay. Like the real leaders, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Chuck Schumer, like, yeah, that's cute. Wear another low cut top and go on this top, but we're not, she has not passed a single bit of legislation in her entire time in Congress, as far as I know. So, Luke, do you think?
Listen, I want to officially endorse Hannah's favorite candidate, and I want to join Hannah, specifically supporting Jasmine Crockett as
Luke
the
has
front
a friend
runner
named Hannah. I've never met her. But he likes her a lot.
Yeah,
he's pretty obsessed with her.
Are you dating her
all the time?
I'm with Hannah here. Jasmine Crockett, I think, is the best that the people deserve.
Could you imagine? She goes to debate stage. Man, shit. I'll be doing them taxes and shit, and I'm like, dang, I ain't came in for no toilet paper. You know what I mean?
We deserve her. We deserve her.
And every other person has to be like, good points, good points.
Right. Ooh, solid point. Like, remember, she's literally on the Congress floor saying, man, it looked like he got some classified documents next to what looks like the shitter. And I'm like, who voted for you? Like, you are so ratchet. And like, she has no charisma. She's literally a DEI, position. She's, I mean, yeah, she gets all the press. I'm hating because she's a ratchet garbage, and like she doesn't have a unique thought in her head. She's never worked. She's yet another career politician. People forget. People say, AOC. She's a career politician. She worked as a bartender for a few years. This woman never earned anything. Jasmine Crockett never earned anything. Like, I'm sick of all these losers that are like, oh, look, they're kind of cute. Let's make him a governor, or let's make him and elect him to the Senate. It's crazy. Yeah. By the way, there are men like that too. It's just cute men don't suffer the same bump. They just don't, or they don't get the same bump because men already vote. Yeah. So there is one like Andy Brashear, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
He's like the women. I think he's in Kentucky. The women down there like fawn over him, and he's one of the worst leaders ever. I think it's Andy Brashear. I remember when I lived there.
Governor of
I'm talking about the governor of.
Yeah, he's governor of Kentucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, everyone was like, we can't outvote these stupid women who are having like 50 Shades of Grey fantasies about this guy, and he's like one of the worst leaders ever.
Look, that's why I think the DNC will ultimately consider backing Gavin Newsom, even though he's tacking towards being more moderate. Yeah, because he's like a weird Ken doll. I mean,
after the wildfire, though, I don't know if there's any.
I don't think he'll be successful, but I think they'll be tempted because he sort of looks all-American enough, and they won't admit it, even though because he's a white male. But he has sort of this like Hollywood good-looking charm, and that might sway some voters.
Yeah, they're going back. Jasmine Crockett in there to shake things up. We need no. She's bold.
They're going back. No.
She's bombastic.
I would bet 100% they're going back to white male. Guaranteed. Oh, yeah. They ran women 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row against Trump. Couldn't beat him. Biden only won because of COVID. They know that, and they're not going to run another progressive woman against JD Vance. She'll get destroyed. Did anybody remember what he did to Tim Walz in that debate? Like he killed him. He's amazing. Dead.
I mean, it's going to be so hard to put anyone up against JD Vance for a lot of reasons. But also the Democrats are a fractured party. They have young people who don't want to coalesce with the old order and the machine that supported it. And they have the machine that doesn't want to let go of control and let young people come in.
But aren't they like the Republicans before Trump in that way? Like,
I think they're
way worse. Yeah, that's true.
I think the Republican Party allows for more difference in ideology than the Democratic does. The Democratic Party expects compliance in a way that, because of the nature of Republicanism and the influence of libertarians and all kinds of other parties, the Tea Party movement, Republicans are used to having to eventually circle the wagons and be like, okay, we're going to make compromises and select together. Democrats want people to abandon everything they believe to comply with the machine. And you see young people like Max Frost, AOC, and Jasmine Crockett starting to be like, I don't have to because I have the ear of the public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Ian, I want you to bring it home. What do you think? Who's the face of the Democratic Party right now?
I think it's going to be Buttigieg for 28. I think because
it's not bad.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna, and he'll try and humiliate what's his name, JD Vance, but Vance will be cool.
No shot a gay man ever wins presidency ever. I'll tell you that right now. The blacks won't vote for him. I guarantee that. The Asians won't vote for him.
And he's a little nervous. It'll come down to like who's more comfortable. I think JD Vance has got all that authority from being VP. He's got all this confidence right now. AOC, I think, will be president before 2040, maybe around then. But I don't think she's ready.
I think she's the next Nancy Pelosi. I think she's going to live in Congress for the rest of her life.